Welcome to another interesting class with Fashion Boss Innovations Academy. Hey, how are you guys doing today? Is our first what actually? It's our first live class for the year, for this year, and we are happy to welcome you back to class. Hope you had an amazing festive period, and hope you didn't use all the holidays to eat and drink. You also practice and put some of the things we've been teaching into practice. Okay, so it's a new year. Encourage us to buckle down. Okay, not buckle up. Buckle down and get cracking so that the year will be fruitful for us all. Okay. Okay. Right. Without so much ado, today we are going to be learning how to make the trending baggy palazzo, like you can see on the thumbnail. Okay, trending baggy palazzo. I'm sure you've seen a lot of people wear this trending baggy palazzo. Some of them even go, as far as adding cargo pockets, okay, on it, on both sides and all. But we are not going to be doing cargo pockets on this because the client is not just going to be using it on polos, and there is a top. We're going to have a bubble top over it, so we are not going to be doing a cargo pocket on it. We're just going to have a side pocket, okay. So if this is something you've not learned how to do, or you don't know how to do, I'll encourage you to stay to the end of this class. It's not going to take so much time. It's very easy. It's actually easier than drafting other types of pants. Okay, extremely easier. Right, so if you're just joining the class, do it to give a thumbs up and let us know where you are watching from. Okay, give a thumbs up and let us know where you are watching from. You are learning how to make trending baggy palazzo. Okay, so this is the fabric we are going to be using for the project. Is an adire fabric, like you can already see. Okay, the basic or the most measurement you need for this type of pants is your waist circumference, your crotch and your hip circumference, and then the length of the pants. So the length of the pants is actually where you want the pants to get. So how long you want the pants to be, that is what length means. Okay, do well to give a thumbs up if you're just joining the class. Okay, do well to give a thumbs up. All right. Okay, so this is my fabric. I folded into two already, as you can see. Now I'm going to give you the formula of how we folded this, which of course is the most aspects of this class, or most aspects of drafting a baggy palazzo. Okay, there may be other method, but this is the method we are staying with for today. So you will grab your hip circumference, divide it by 4. This is the formula I am giving to you, how to get your fold, or the amount of fabric you need to draft your front panel. Okay, we are actually drafting the front panel right about now. Okay, the front panel first, and then we go over to the back panel. Okay, but once you can get the front panel, the back panel is a work in the pack. All right, good. So I said you will get your hip circumference. Like for this project, the hip circumference is 46. Okay, you will divide your hip circumference by 4. So the hip circumference for this project is 46. So you divide it by 4. Divide 4. What we have will be 11.5. Okay, 11.5 inches. 11.5 inches. Now, after getting your hip circumference divided by 4, you're going to go ahead to add 7 inches. Okay. This 7 inches includes your seam allowance and then all of the ease you need. You know, that baggy energy, okay, that baggy feel you need for the pants or for the palazzo. Okay, it will give you all of those excess fabric. Okay, and this 7 inches, can make it size almost all sizes. Okay, the medium, the plus size, and all. Okay, the small size, but it is really going to be very bogus. Now, if you don't want it to be too bogus, please add 5 inches. Okay, grab that. Did you copy that? Hope you're writing. Okay, if you don't want it to be too baggy, add 5 inches. But if you want it to be very baggy, please, 7 inches is enough. But if you want it to be baggy, baggy, baggy like a sack, you can go as you can add more than 7 inches. But I think 7 inches is just enough, because even that 7 inches makes it very, very baggy. Okay. But if you want it to be moderate, please go ahead to add 5 inches. 5 inches makes it very, very moderate. Do you copy that? Yes. So for this, the one I made last week, I added 7 inches. I made 2 last week. Okay. One I use Ashoke, the other one I use African print, and this one now we are using Adire. There are more we are going to do. Okay. So we are going to add 5 inches to this. So if we added 5 inches, if we add 5 inches to our 11.5 that we derive from our hip circumference, after dividing by 4, we're going to be having 16.5. Hope you got that calculation. Hope you got that calculation. So 16.5 is what we have here, and that is what we've used to fold our fabric. Okay, so as you can see, 16.5 on the dots. Okay, 16.5 on the dot. So you wouldn't say what she showed us is different from what's right. 16.5 is what we have for the front panel. Although for the back panel, you don't need any calculation, because what you get from the front panel is what you're going to use to cut for the back panel. All right. Please make sure you are writing. Make sure you are writing. I like it when, you know, you guys come around and you write. They said the shortest pencil is longer than the longest memory. Okay, so I haven't gotten this. We're just going to go straight. Where is the ruler? This is my chalk. Please know that this pant is going to have elastic on the waist. It is, thank you. It is often elastic and a string, but we're not going to be doing a string. The client said she wants only elastic. She doesn't want a string. In as much as the elastic is firm, you do not need a string. Okay. So I am going to mark my origin line. Okay. I'm going to take my origin line. I'm going to take my origin line. I want to get my length first, because the length of the fabric is not much. So I'll do my origin line by doing this. I get my length first, and then use the remaining to do my origin line. Okay. Yeah, that's how it works. So I'm using a 45 inches for my length. 45 inches as my length. Okay. So this is my origin line. Marking out. So how you can determine how long you want your palazzo to be is, for instance, you have a client who whose measurement you're having just from the waist to the ankle. All right, you have just from the waist to the ankle. Just go ahead to add 7 inches to the length. You know, most ladies, their pants length is between 37, 38, 39 at most, depending on how tall the person is. That is from the waist to the ankle, right? You don't know the full length of the palazzo, that is the length that we get to the floor. Your palazzo needs to get to the floor. If it doesn't get to the floor, then it's no palazzo, except you want to make what do they call that thing? There is this short palazzo that ends around, that is a 3/4 kembe. Look, kembe is even long. There is another one, I'll remember it and then I'll let you know. But if you want to make a long palazzo, please make sure it is sitting on the floor. Okay, it's very important. So if you have between the waist to the ankle, just go ahead to add 7 inches. 7 inches, we extend it to the floor, and then you also have about 2 inches to fold as the M. Okay. All right. So determine our origin line. This is our origin line. The next thing we are going to do is to determine our crotch length. Okay. We are going to take our crotch length. Now, I'm going to be minusing 2 inches for my elastic. The band of the pants is going to be 2 inches. Okay, we are going to be using 1 inch elastic. Let me show you. This is the elastic we are going to be using for the band. it is 1 inch. So because your elastic is 1 inch, you do well to take away 2 inches as your band length. If the elastic you're using is 2 inches, you do well to take away 4 inches as your band length, so that when you fold, it can cover up your elastic properly and still have, you know, some space in between the elastic. Do you understand? Good. So I'm going to be taking away 2 inches as my band length. Okay, so it will reduce my length to 43. So let me do this from the bottom. Again, why? Okay, because I want this black part of the fabric to show at the bottom of the pants. So my length, after taking away 2 inches, what I'm going to be having left is 43 inches. Okay, 43 inches. 43 inches after taking away 2 inches as my band length. And then I'm going to mark this again. So it means our measurement is starting from that point. It means our measurement is going to be starting from here. Okay, I've seen it. So right now, this is our new origin line. So this is our new origin line. So I take away my 2 inches to get my crotch measurement. Now my crotch measurement, how do you get your crotch measurement or your crotch length? You get your crotch length by dividing your hips by 4 again, okay? In regular pants, you will divide your hips by 4. That is if your client is not available for you to measure their crotch. I have taught this in previous classes on how to measure crotch or determine your crotch. It is either you have your client sitting on a flat surface and then you measure that, okay? I've showed all of that in previous videos. You can check the channel. Or you divide your hips by 4. But right now, you divide your hips by 4 and then you add 1.5 inches. So the hip circumference is 46, like I mentioned earlier. If you divide 46 by 4, you're going to be having 11.5. Then you go ahead to add 1.5. That will make it a total of 13 inches. It will make it a total of 13 inches. No, measurement. So it will make it a total of 13 inches. So if you look at my measurement book, you will see that the crotch length for this client is 13 inches. So as you can see, our formula is absolutely correct. Okay, good. So our crotch is 13 inches. Now, because we are making a palazzo, a baggy palazzo, we go ahead to add one more inch to it. This means that if you're making a baggy palazzo, instead of adding 1.5 inch to your crotch measurement, just do well to add 2.5 inches. Do you understand? Good. So 2.5 inches plus 11.5, that will give you a total of 14 inches. So this is our 14 inches. And this is our crotch length. So this is our crotch length. I'll just go ahead and mark it. So that's what, this is all we need our hip measurement or hip circumference for. So after determining your crotch length, the next thing your crotch length, the next thing you are going to be looking for is your crotch extension. Okay, how do you get your crotch extension again? You need your hip circumference divided by 4. Hope you are writing down all these formulas that I'm dishing out for you. You need your crotch divided by 4. So crotch divided by 4 will give us 11 11.5. Okay, and then this 11.5 we divide it by 4 again. So your hip divided by 4 and then by another 4. So 11.5 divided by 4. What we have is 2.875. Okay, that is what we have. But we are just going to approximate it to 3 inches. Do you understand how we got here? How to determine your crotch extension. This works both for your regular pants, for your palazzo and your baggy palazzo. Do you understand? How to get your crotch, perfect crotch extension is by you dividing your hips by 4 and then divide it by 4 again. So what we have is 2.875. So this 2.8 now we just approximate it to 3 inches. So our crotch extension is 3 inches. So bring down the 3 inches here. I'll mark the 3 inches. And then I will come to our origin line and mark the same 3 inches. But instead of marking the 3 inches, I will mark 3.5. Okay, so let's say this is my 3 inches. We brought our crotch extension up here. And then I will come in by 0.5 to eliminate some bulge around the front flap. And then I will connect from this 0.5 that we came in by. So our crotch extension, okay? Like this. And then you create your curve. It's either you use your curved ruler, your armhole, or you use a free hand. I didn't come out with my curved ruler. Okay? You create your curve. Like this. We are almost done. Alright? So the next thing to do is to impute. We are not going to impute our waist circumference. Okay? We don't need waist measurements. All of this will serve as our waist measurements. You know why? Because we are going to be using elastic to drape it. We need some fabric around the waist for the draping. Do you understand? But to give it some form and shape, what we will do is to come up here, okay, come up here and measure 1 inch like this, just to give it some form around the hip area. And then you use your ruler, okay, and connect from this 1 inch you came up by to your crotch line. You connect it to your crotch line like that. Okay? Okay. So this is all we need though. We have successfully drafted our baggy palazzo, the front panel. Okay? So we are using the whole of this, okay, down here, the whole of this down here as our pants. Don't forget it's a baggy palazzo. So we're going to go right about now to cut. Guys, if you follow this process, you shouldn't have any problem drafting your baggy palazzo. Okay? This is what is trending right now. They call it streetwear. Okay, you can do this on any kind of fabric. Any kind, be it English curtain, be it stretchy fabric, whatever fabric you want to use for your streetwear. This is how to draft your baggy palazzo. Okay? So just go ahead right now and cut. Do well to subscribe if you have not subscribed to this channel, and tap on the bell so you get notified each time we drop new videos or each time we are on live class like this. It is for your own good. All right? And do not forget to give this class a thumbs up if you have found value in it. It is the least you can do to support the channel. So we are going to go ahead right now to cut our back panel, but that will be after we are done cutting out this front panel. Okay. I'm going to be opening this side like this. Hope you can see me. I'm going to be opening the side like this. Hope you can see what I'm doing. Opening it like this. And then I'll cut out this 1 inch that we came up by. So we have successfully drafted a baggy palazzo, the front panel. I'll just get pin to pin the side to keep it in place for us. And then we go over to drafting the back panel. You can also do well to drop, if you have any style in mind you want us to work on. If you have any style you would want us to work on to teach you how to draft or how to sew, please do well to drop your request on the channel. Okay, do well to drop your request on the channel. We'll attend to it. All right. We see that after the class there are more than 2. So we are done with the front panel. We are going to be drafting the back panel right about now. This is the front panel. You can also, you can also do well, okay, if you so desire, you can also do well to come down on the front by 1 inch, but this is optional, okay? It's a baggy palazzo with elastic, so you don't need all of this paparazzi. But if you so desire, you can come down by 1 inch and cut off this 1 inch to eliminate bulge around the tummy area, okay? So for the back panel, we are drafting the back panel now. You know we use 16.5 inches for the front panel, all right? For the back panel, we are going to make it, we are using the same crotch extension we use for the back panel for the front panel. Do you understand what that means? You know, we use 3 inches for our crotch extension in front. These are crotch extension, hope you remember. These are crotch extension, we use 3 inches for it. So because it's a baggy palazzo, we are using the same 3 inches for the back panel. Now you're going to add the 3 inches to the 16.5 inches that we used to fold the fabric initially. And it should be liters. You can make it 20 inches approximately if you so desire. So we fold like this. Guys, if you're hearing so much noise, I'm sorry, my store is on the road and this is what we have to deal with, right? The road doesn't belong to me. It belongs to everybody. So everybody can do what they like. Alright? We are praying to God to give us a bigger space. A bigger space, a duplex, where our lecture room will be very quiet, very, very quiet, okay? We won't have to be dealing with all this plenty street noise. We'll get there in Jesus' name. Somebody should say amen for me. Amen. So I'm looking for my 19.5, approximately 20 inches, okay, for my back panel. And then I'm folding. I'm also going to be doing a live class in on cutting, in the cutting of the upper bodies, okay, the bubble we are going to be using in front. If you're interested, please do well to join the class. Any minutes, a few minutes after we are done, you know, with this one, we're going to launch another live stream to do that. So if you're interested, hang around so you don't miss out. All these are everyday outfits, okay? You can produce 4 or 5 of this in a week, and it will fetch you good money, quicker and easier than, you know, sewing corsets and busties and suits and all of. I'm not saying you shouldn't know how to make that. Of course, I make all of those very well, but I'm just telling you what will give you quick money, okay? But it should be a utility designer being able to make everything and anything. There is nothing wrong with that, right? It depends on your capacity and your capability. Some people will say pick a niche, stay with only pants, stay with only bobo. It's good, it makes you very focused. But if you can do every of it and do it well, it's amazing. Okay, I'm a living witness. It's amazing. Your clients will not be taking your money elsewhere. They will say, tell on yen, Shokoto Nicolo le wrong. Did I speak that well? You want to win me? No. Okay, so we're done folding. This is our front panel. We just bring it back. We are done in another 5 minutes. We are done with this. Okay. So I bring it down to meet with my. Okay, this is even not enough. We are going to add to it. So we are adding. Let me see. We are going to be adding. Let me see. Okay, 3 inches. Let's add 1 more inch to it to make it 4 inches. 4 inches. All right. Okay, it's perfect. This is because of the 2 more inches we are going to be using as our seam allowance for the back panel. So for your pants to sit very well straight and not having those squeezy effects at the back when you put it on. I'm sure you must have seen some people when they put on their pants, the back part of it. What do they call food for Yoruba?
Umalo.
Eh?
Umalo.
So umalo. It will be folding inside, you know. It's often an awful sight, okay? Makako. Okay, it's a sight I don't like beholding, but this is what happens. So in order to eliminate that, you have to bring all your seams to the back panel. When we are drafting, we don't add seams to our front panel, okay? We move our seams to the back panel, okay? You get why? I just explained why actually, okay? So this is one of the disadvantages of holding a live class. If it to be behind the camera video, I can eradicate all of the noise you are hearing, but with a live class, you cannot eradicate noise. I'm sorry. Pray for us to get a bigger and a better place. This fabric, oh, the shinoma. I want it to be equal. Uh-huh. What's the eq? Okay, so we're good. Uh-huh. See? So we're good. So we'll come to this upper part, and then we will we will mark out 1 inch on this upper part, okay? 1 inch, just to create a bit of allowance for the butts, the bum bum at the back. Already the pants is baggied enough, so just to create more allowance for the bum bum, we'll just add 1 inch. In regular pants, we often add beyond 1 inch, but that is subject to the size of the person. Okay, but because this is baggy, it's already baggy, we'll just add 1 inch regardless of the size of the person. Okay, so I do 1 inch here, 1 inch here. So this 1 inch, I'm going to connect it to the waistline of the front panel. Okay, I connect it, this 1 inch, to the waistline of the front panel. Do you understand? Connect it to the waistline of the front panel, like this. Okay, if you already know how to draft a pants, what I'm doing should not be alien to you. But peradventure you do not know how to draft a pants, or you don't know how to make a pants, and you're interested, we have a pants class that teaches you how to draft pants, sew, how to install your pockets, how to make different types of pants, from palazzo to straight to cargo pants, cargo pockets, to pleated pants, to circle pants, different types of pants. Okay, you can send a message if you're interested in that class. All right, so after doing this 1 inch connection, we are going to extend our crotch, our back crotch, by 3 inches. I already explained to us why we are using 3 inches, or that we are using 3 inches. Okay, so this is our back crotch. I just extended it by 3 inches for the back. Now this 3 inches, which is our back crotch extension, we are going to connect it to the waistline. Okay, so I'm going to be looking for the midpoints of this, or I'm going to impute my hip point, which is 8 inches. This is 8 inches, and then I'm going to come out here by 2 inches. Okay, and then I'm going to connect from here like this to meet with the 2 inches. Are you getting it? To meet with the 2 inches, and then I'll connect it to meet with the waistline. Okay, it has to be equal, unlike other pants where we have to add 2 inches to the front of the crotch. In this case, we are not adding anything, we're just connecting from the crotch. Why we did this, why we have to look for our hip points here, is because we are creating allowance for our hips. We don't want it to be tight. Okay, we just need that freeness around the hip area. Okay, and then we'll connect it to meet with this point, like this. Okay, as you can see, everything is free-handed, no paper drafting of any sort, like that. Okay, and then after doing that, we are going to add our sewing allowance of 2 inches all the way. So I just use my ruler. My ruler is 2 inches, like this, to measure 2 inches.
It is 3.
No, is a crotch extension that is 3. So I just measure 2 inches downward as my seam allowance, like that. Okay, I'll connect my crotch to meet with my 2 inches like this. And we are done for the back. Do you understand? We are done, guys. Please kindly ask your question. Is there a part of this tutorial that you did not understand? Go ahead to ask your question now and we'll respond to you. Ask your question. Ask your question. Okay? So we are going to start quoting. We are going to be cutting the pockets and the band. Okay? Stay tuned. So I'm still splitting the side of this open, like we did for the front panel. And then we shape from the side, like this. And that is it, guys. So for the pockets, so this is the back panel, and then this is the front panel. All right, so I'll take away the front panel because we need it for the pockets. So I told you need between 2.5 inches of fabric, 2.5 yards of fabric and 3 yards of fabric to achieve this, right? Yeah. So I think I'll be needing, because I'll be using this for the upper bodies, so I wouldn't want to shorten it. So I'll be using a black fabric for the pockets. I'm going to be showing you that when I'm cutting the front panel, okay? Or you can check the channel, you see a video on how to cut and install the pockets on the pants. You can make do with that. I don't want to shorten this fabric, okay? Hope you understand, and hope you learned something from today's class. So the drafting, the sewing is not difficult. We also have sewing tutorials on how to sew a pant, okay? If you also want us to do a live class on the sewing tutorial, I am here. Kindly let us know on the comment section, and we'll see you in the next live class. Bye bye for now.